Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Really happy to have you here today. I've been informed it's 2021, and it's February of that year, so that's pretty good. Which is something special happens in that day, Eric. Oh, what's special about the second month of year 2021? Do you know?
Does it the People of Color Month?
I believe no, it's not though. The people of color don't got a month. It's the Black
Oh,
People Month. Yeah, it's
oh, okay, okay. Yeah.
the color people.
Specifically.
They go to
Yeah,
hell, right? They don't
right.
get they don't get anything. Although it is odd, most people in the world call us the pink people, but I guess we don't have color anymore. Someone bleached us. Damn it! Eh,
The only
Some
actual white people I've ever seen are from the British Isles. Everybody else has a pink, but them Irish and Brits, sometimes they get actually straight up white skinned.
Albinist. Well, they
Yeah.
used to call it Albion. It used to have that
Yes.
name long ago. There might be some reason for that. I think it was talk about the White Cliffs of Dover, but hey, as you like. Nevertheless, happy to have you guys here. We are going to be talking about some comic news. Actually, we got a couple fun things to do today. I've set up, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun with it. And hopefully, you guys will have an opinion on those things. But I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to like it and then I'm going to share it because this helps us out getting people over here so they know that we're what we're doing. So here I'm doing it right now. And while I do that, Eric, the most Eric-y of all Erics, he's going to tell us exactly how wonderful his day was.
Oh, my day was great. I'm still working from home, except on Fridays. I do drive into the office on Fridays. I have to drive right past Ferguson, if any of you heard of that. It ties into Black History Month, I guess.
It does.
Yeah, so, I sit here at my desk and I work all day long and get done. I go fix dinner for everybody. And that's about it. That's how my day goes, usually Monday through Thursday.
Oh, well, that sounds interesting. I hope you're not
And then I
trading
come in here and
stocks.
draw.
You're not allowed to do that. Yeah. Oh, drawing's good.
Yeah.
Actually, for the Black People's Month, or what do they call it? The Black History Month. Yeah, yeah. I was thinking about doing a full rundown of the entire history of Black people, but I figured, man, it's only a 5-minute segment. Damn.
Well, you know what we could do since we have a whole month. Maybe
Uh,
do a show on just black comic book characters.
we could do that. In all, I mean, all joking aside, we could do
I mean,
something like that.
especially like Captain Marvel, how she was whitewashed for a movie.
Yeah, no, Monica Rambeau. I was pleasantly surprised how many people were like, "Well, where's Monica?" And
Yeah,
of course, you and I, we kind of grew up with Monica Rambeau as our Captain Marvel, right?
right.
I
Yeah,
mean, so
exactly.
yeah, and it was like, yeah, where where is Monica? That's a good point. But she's coming back. We're seeing more of her because Disney has realized that they hired an absolute toxic harpy. Am I allowed to say that? Probably not. But and nobody likes her, and they're looking for this other lady, and she seems to be more friendly.
She does. She's seems to be a good actress on the WandaVision.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see if she gets her powers on that show.
I wonder how they're going to do it though, because there's something coming, right? Because they Marvel, and Marvel Studios needs to figure out how to bring mutants into the picture when there haven't been any mutants yet. So they need to
Hmm.
do some event, and we all kind of been speculating for months that WandaVision was going to be that event, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
It still could be. It still could be.
It's still yeah, sure, sure.
Hmm.
But yeah, we'll see.
I
But no,
think, if anything, that event won't actually be in Vision. It might be in the Multiverse of Madness, or at least be like set on the path to it.
right. Well, that's
Uh,
still involving Wanda, though.
yes, yeah. I think we're actually, or at least I am, correct on what the plan is. Going to be Reverse House of M.
Yeah.
I really think that's the plan.
Yeah, I do too. Although they'd still have the option of having Captain Marvel, meaning Brie Larson's Captain Marvel, do a mighty flex that kind of splits the time continuum and causes it. They could do that. She just poses for a second.
She just Hulk Hogan's it.
Yeah.
And there you
Flex,
go. Now there's mutants.
flexes that flat ass.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so sad, dude. And it's still, damn it, it pisses me off, man. We could have had Emily Blunt. We could have had Emily. Emily looks younger than her right now.
Mm,
She's almost
yeah.
40, isn't she, Emily Blunt?
Yeah, but she would have been a perfect choice for Captain Marvel, dude. She's
Yeah.
charismatic. She's attractive. She can do action. We know she can do action.
Oh, yeah.
Brie Larson cannot.
She looks
Listen,
great in tights.
oh my God,
Fantastic
she's
tights.
now she don't have no flat ass.
I know.
No, and she's turned down Marvel a couple times, hasn't she?
I don't know. Maybe she has. Yeah, I'm
I
not
think
sure
she
about the
has, yeah.
backstory. But she would have been a perfect choice, though. I do appreciate Emily Blunt. She's a pretty good actress, actually. But oh well, we got what we got, and now we're going to be getting you know, we're going to get the Mocha Captain coming soon, which is better. I'm looking forward to it.
I like the chick who plays Monica Rambeau. I have no idea what her name is, but she's a very competent actress.
Mm.
And she's not, she's pretty enough. I think she's prettier than Brie Larson. So, yeah, why
Yeah,
not?
I agree with that.
Well, Brie has the chin that can chip ice, so it's not really.
Yes.
But they haven't really done pretty in a long time. This is kind of not the trend. Tank Ferret's here. Hey, Tank. We got a Lady Celtic Moon. Nice to see you. Happy to have all you guys in here. I'm going to jump over to the news right now and get into some stuff. I'm actually excited. We're gonna have fun today. We got some cool stuff. We get to be like democratic today. We're going to be making a vote.
Democrats? I gotta go.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we'll get to that last, but I think it'll be fun. But all right, here we go. Let me bring this up so these guys can check it out, and then I'll come over here and I will share with you guys. So let's go ahead and start it out, Thunder.
5 indie comics that look worth your money.
Now, this is an interesting little article. As you guys know, I take most of my stuff off of Bounding into Comics simply because the format is perfect for online streaming. And I do look at the other stuff because sometimes they'll cover something that Bounding won't. I mean, be completely honest, Bounding is leaning in a certain direction. It certainly has an agenda, obviously. But so I do keep my eye out for interesting articles like that. But usually I use this format. Now, because of that, I assume these indie comics we're looking at, you're going to recognize because they're people we know. So I don't know what to say about that, but nevertheless, let's take a look at them and see what we think about what's going on in the indie scene here. Of course, got a nice picture of She right there, but from Billy Tucci, very nice guy. You guys have seen him on the channel, and he's done a lot of interviews. He's just one of those effervescent people that never shuts up, ever. Yeah,
Fun guy.
he is fun. I like Billy. He's so much. He's one of those dudes that even though I've only spoken to him a few times, I feel so comfortable just calling him Billy. I don't know him,
Yeah.
right? He's just one of those dudes, right?
He's disarming. Yeah.
He is, man. I like Billy. He's a genuine human. Anyway, we got Alien Alamo. This is an interesting name. This is from Graham Nolan, the co-creator of Bane. So is Graham Nolan coming over to the Comic Geek side? I don't think so. Is he? Did I miss
Not to my
something?
knowledge.
Not to my knowledge.
No, I don't think so.
So this is pure indie then. All right, cool.
Mm.
And have you guys heard of the Alien Alamo at all?
I have not, but I like the idea.
Yeah, so do
No,
I.
it sounds cool, but that thumb is jacked up.
Yeah,
Thumb is a little weird.
You'll notice as we go.
Otherwise, I like the art, but that thumb got messed up somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe he's got a claw hand, all right? Maybe he's just got a claw
Well, it could
hand.
be because of all the claws there. Maybe he's part alien too.
Maybe he's the alien invasion. Could be. But they're fighting some kind of tick crabs here, so whatever. It says it's 1957. Well, actually, Eric, why don't you read it?
It's 1957, and the Russians had just launched Sputnik into orbit. The world was changing, and World War II veteran Travis Houston was struggling to adapt. All Travis wanted when he mustered out of the Marine Corps at the end of World War II was some peace and quiet and a safe place to raise his son, James. But the horrors he had experienced in the Pacific, You moved it on me. And the death of his wife have left him empty and distant. The meteor shower changed all that. Only it wasn't a meteor shower. It was an invasion. Creatures from another world want ours, and the only thing standing between them and us is a man, a boy, and his dog. The Houstons are vastly outnumbered, but they are Texans and they have each other. So the odds might just be even.
Okay, I have a critique immediately of that little blurb.
Yeah.
It was an invasion. Oh, shouldn't that be a little bit more exciting? Like, it was an invasion. Shouldn't that have an exclamation point at the end? I'm sorry, but an invasion seems like a big deal. It's not like you're eating ice cream, right? I'm eating ice cream. I'd have more excitement in that.
Yeah, well, meteor shower changed all that. Only it wasn't a meteor shower. It held an insidious evil that soon erupted into an alien invasion. Is this what you wanted?
Yes, that'd be much better.
Definitely, that would have been better.
Yeah. Off the top of my head. Damn it, editors. Anyway, but I'm okay with the art. We've seen worse and we've seen better, but I think it's fine. There's a lot of background detail, which I do appreciate, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And
it looks interesting. It's an interesting idea. I like that a lot. I like the indie stuff being more. Let's try something. Let's try what looks to be like a Western mixed with some alien stuff. Now, it's obviously set post-World War II, so it's not technically a Western, but it's set in Texas. So.
I also like the fact that it's the Mexicans that are fighting the Alamo fight now. That's a nice twist. That works out really well. But actually, there was a movie came out called Cowboys versus Aliens, or Cowboys and Aliens, whatever it was. I kind of liked it, dude.
Oh, the one with James Bond and Han Solo?
Yeah. I thought it was fun.
It wasn't a bad movie. It was a fun movie.
It was a lot better of a movie than it deserved to be. It's one of those kind of movies. It's just got a silly name. It's supposed to. You'd think it's just like a super campy movie, and it's really not. It's just a movie about cowboys and aliens.
Yep.
Okay.
It's very straightforward. Yeah. But I thought I enjoyed it. It's just one of those out of nowhere little gems, But all right, so it's a 48-page book, and it's currently available on Indiegogo. I doubt that this is on Indicron. It might be, but comic books are comic books. We enjoy this, and this is from Graham Nolan. We certainly know who he is. So, interesting. Number 2, the art gets worse. AI Wars, number 1.
Hold on. Is this someone we know first before we say that?
It is.
John. Yeah, we know it is. Yeah, it's John. And I always support John. I like John. Now, John De La Rose, he brings a lot of flack with him because he's a troll lord. Just like Ethan, just like so many of them. They're trolls, right? That's what they do. They play that game. And the thing is, if you're going to play that game, don't bitch when someone else plays it back at you. I don't get that. That's pussy shit, right? Anyway, I'm not going to get political, but I like John.
I hope not, because that wasn't even a word.
Thank you. I am a linguist. Do keep that in mind, sir. If I say
I have heard that this is actually pretty good, though, AI Wars.
Well, John's actually not a bad writer.
No, not at all. He's quite accomplished, in fact.
Very prolific, actually, yeah. And I like his character. He's a funny guy. I like John, and he doesn't take no shit. This is from Felsbug Formosa. That's not a real name, but sounds like someone from the Southeast Asia, maybe. I don't know. It's weird. I'm glad we have Eric here today because his opinion is more important than mine when it comes to art. But I don't know. The dude is horrible. The things are boxy, but the girl's cute. I don't know.
The girl's cute, but her hand's in a bad position. It looks like she's holding her breast.
I would
classify. Well, of course you would. I wouldn't say this is worse than early TMT art.
All right, gentlemen.
No, that's true.
Is his blurb going to be better than the other one?
Well, I would imagine, yeah. Hey, go ahead, Thunder.
AI overlords enslave humanity, but a brave few fight for survival. Tom Palmer never wanted to be a hero. He just wanted to make his happy medication like everyone else in the AI controlled factory. But when an accident causes him to miss taking his injection, he gets pinned with a terrorist attack caused by humanity's resistance.
Ooh.
On the run, Tom Palmer must join the revolutionaries for his own survival. The hopes of future generations of humanity rest on his shoulders. See? Exclamation points.
Yeah.
Pace. Go, 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 go. You got to tell me it. Go, go, go.
It is sweet and succinct. That's true. It is
Yes.
better. But it does sound a little bit like the plot to Equilibrium. John.
Well, not everything can be perfectly original.
No, that's true. As Solomon
Oh, that's
said,
creepy.
or he's quoted as saying, which is actually not
Oh,
accurate.
that is creepy.
Yeah, it is creepy. Yeah, boxy.
The girl's face on the block. What the hell?
Yeah, it's just I'm a little iffy about the art, and
I mean,
keep.
It's kind of what you almost, when you think of indie comics, at least back when, the 90s and
Yeah.
80s, this is kind of the art you expected from an indie comic.
That's true.
It's kind of
I
raw.
like that
It is true.
explosion scene. That looks good.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's kind of all over the place. But the problem is, like with Flying Sparks, for instance, that art in that is excellent.
Yeah,
Right?
it is.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm very much an art snob, though. I am. I know that, and that thing is creepy as hell.
Well, the sound effects don't match the art either, though.
They don't.
I don't know. Those should have been hand drawn. Everything else is traditionally drawn, it looks like, but those are definitely digitally put over. They should have just hand drawn those in there.
Yeah. Well, this is only a 24-page book, that's interesting. And he's just going straight to Amazon. That's a bit small. It's a straight up comic though. If he's just selling on Amazon and just doing like a simple low price, maybe that's what John's trying to do with this. I haven't talked to John in a while. I have to get a hold of him and get him to come over here and have a chat again. I do like talking to John. I was actually thinking about. I saw Preston was doing something, but he looked like he was busy, so I didn't bother him. I kind of wanted him to come in too. I like talking to Preston as well. Those two guys can talk, and they piss people off. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, they both do.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. So there's that. All right. Thank you, John. Monster Hunt. Let's get cracking. Is this Doug? No,
It looks like
it's a
it's
crossover.
a
dude.
team
Mike
up.
Miller.
It is. It's so Doug and Mike are talking again, or were they never not talking? I'm not sure. And that's that right there is freaking Baron, dude. That's Nexus.
Yep, Baron's it. Yeah, that's Nexus. Yeah, he's on too. And I believe Weldon is doing the interiors.
Oh my, yeah, Matthew Weldon. There he is.
Jesus. It's from creators Mike Miller and Mike Barron. So Mike's doing the writing. Mike's doing I don't know what Mike is doing. And artist Matt Welding. So what is Mike doing? Why is Doug's name not there?
That's weird. It's in the blurb, but it's not in that.
I
that
think they
part.
just let them borrow the character for the book.
That's cool.
He's not doing any writing though.
Yeah. Let me read it here. Monster Hunt. Let's get crapping. No, that's probably not what he wanted. Yeah. Let's go back and try that again. Let's get cracking brings together Lone Star and his unknown soldiers, together with Doug TeNaples' Bigfoot Bill, and a few of his cryptid friends as they join forces with Mike Barron and Steve Rude's intergalactic executioner and one of the most popular independent comic book characters of all time, Nexus, bound together by fate to save the world from the galactic devourer, Gormando. I should be hired. Someone should give me money.
Big time. Huge checks.
Big time. The art looks good.
Yeah.
Look at that, Eric. Look at that.
Even the ass looks sexy.
Yeah.
No, that's really good. Matt's a great artist. I mean,
I like that
he
smoke.
makes it look so effortlessly too.
Yeah, he does.
That smoke is next level. That is fantastic.
It is. I wonder who's inking him. You think he's inking himself?
He usually does.
Yeah. Hey, all right, Indiegogo, through In Demand. All right, so there you go, guys. That one might be a pickup right there, though, because Mike Barron actually knows how to write things quite well.
Yes. Yes.
And Matt Weldon he's our boy, isn't he? Yeah, I don't know. Mike and Doug are Mike's publishing probably, and Doug just, as you said, lent the character. But yeah, that one looks good, dude. So Monster Hunt, let's get cracking. Sounds fun, dude. All right. All right, let's go down. We got number 4 here. Ooh, that's an interesting name. Death Shroud. Huh. All right. This is from Chad Larson and artist Kanan White. I'm glad that Kanan has got some work, man.
Oh yeah.
Because that whole
Cool.
thing with Bryce kind of went weird, dude. It was a bizarre situation. I'm really happy. I like Kanan. He's a nice guy, and he's phenomenal. He's freaking
Yeah.
phenomenal. So
He's next level.
yeah, he is. Go ahead, Eric.
Real quick, it looks like if you missed Monster Hunt, the Indiegogo's closed.
Oh,
Okay. When a special ops mission goes wrong and his entire squad is killed, John Azrael is transformed into a creature from his nightmares. John soon discovers he's one of the Nephilim, and his very existence poses a threat to the established cosmic order.
ooh.
With a conspiracy between heaven and hell against him, John embarks on a mission to take revenge on those who murdered his mother. Armed only with his wits and newly discovered powers, John must maintain the balance of cosmic forces while protecting his fiancée Elizabeth from the Cobalt City's corrupt leaders in this action-packed anti-hero adventure.
Mm, mm, I would have wrote that
Sounds-
different.
Narrow.
Yeah, too much information for your blurb, in a way.
Yeah.
I know that sounds odd, but I don't know. But it sounds like a kind of standard type of thing. But the art's going to be amazing. I see over here in the chat, you guys are having a lot of conversation about stuff, which is awesome. And John cries wolf too much. Yeah, well, he's trolling people, dude. That's what he does. He does it intentionally. Played by Joan Rivers. That would be perfect, Skinny. Let's see. Weldon is top tier. He should be a household name in comics. He should be, dude. Well, the thing is, we got a bunch of people over here that kind of frequent our area of the internet that should be mainstream artists. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Matt Weldon, John Dillard. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Right? Our boy here, Eric, is better than, well, no, he's better than most of the crap we see coming out of Marvel.
Yeah, all 3 of those guys are definitely. A lot of the Marvel stuff, and even the DC stuff now, unfortunately, is just not good. Like, it's objectively bad. It's not like a subjective, like, oh, art's subjective, somebody might like it. I don't know anybody who could, unless they have a mental defect, because it looks ugly. It looks sloppy.
It does.
And not like
It's ugly.
not like artistically ugly where it's supposed to look ugly. It just doesn't look good.
Yeah. And we're going to get into
Great
more of that.
image.
We're going to see more of that today. But of course, I was talking about the Weathers guy. No? You got Let me get away with that? All right, fine. I gave you an opportunity to put your chance, dude.
My book came out.
Oh, did it? All right, that's good.
Oh.
You know, out of nowhere, I didn't even understand the reference. I was watching Steven Crowder. They're back after their break today, and he made a comment that I didn't catch. I usually catch his cultural references, but he was making a joke, offhand joke about something. He says, "Everybody hates you, Booster," and I was like, I should cut that clip, man.
Oh, that movie.
What movie? I didn't catch the reference at all.
That is from, I believe, Jingle All the Way. And
I've seen
there's a
that.
character in there that plays the superhero that
Oh, the
his son
sidekick.
wants to. Yeah, his sidekick is named Booster.
Oh.
Oh, I gotta
Yeah, we gotta
cut that clip, man. I gotta cut both of them. All right. Well, the art looks good. This is very Kanan-esque, for sure. All right, and coming down to the last one, we have Haikyou, which is that really? I don't think it's going to be your final, Billy. What are you talking about? I'll just ignore that. But all right. So Haikyou comes from the creative team of Billy Tucci, Steve Peros, Gardenia Lima, Brian Miller, Mindy Lopkin, Jesus, Niall Scala, and Deborah Tucci.
My goodness.
Big ass team.
All right, you're reading this one, Chester. There's way too much Japanese in there. That's all you.
Okay, all right, that's fine. Fair enough. After the terrifying events of Shi, Return of the Warrior, Ana Ishikawa must now save her teenage daughter, Hotaru, who's been kidnapped by a murderous Shi copycat killer. But to do so, she's forced to ally herself with her lifelong enemy, the manipulative Masahiro Arashi. What if it is all a ruse and Ana has fallen into a trap set by the Yakuza Oyabun? Find out in Shi Haikyo, the 64-page full-color sequel to Return of the Warrior. This action-packed psychological samurai thriller reunites Shi creator Billy Tucci and writer Steve Peros with artist Gardenia Lima, colors Brian Miller, lettered by Mindy Lopkin, and designer Niall Scala for a journey that takes the reader deep into the haunted reunions of the New York's Roosevelt Island as mother must embrace death so that her daughter may live. Ooh. That's actually long-winded, but it's pretty well written, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I would assume Billy wrote that. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, he probably did.
Yeah.
And it is in demand on Indiegogo. Oh, I'm sorry. Monster Hunt is in demand too. It just wouldn't come up for me at first. So both of these are in demand right now.
Oh, nice. And of course, it's Billy's art, which is always awesome. I love his detail work and stuff. And a lot of times people always focus on his pinups, and he is a great pinup artist. But I like his backgrounds, dude. I love the detail stuff that Billy does. I've always enjoyed it. Because I was introduced to Shi in a strange way, right? I didn't even know about it. It was like an indie thing. It just exploded, right? But I was reading. Someone gave me a Grendel comic book. You remember the Grendel comic book? The character, the well, I don't know if I call it a hero, but the character, the Grendel character. But somehow, the cover of the Grendel comic was on top of a Shi book. I don't know how that happened, so I ended up having to read the Shi book, and I was like, "Oh, this is interesting." So I checked it out. But all right, well, so there are 5 things to keep your eye opens for. So we got the new Shi from Billy. We have this from Kanan White here with the Death Shroud. This one looks exciting though. This one is for all, especially in our community, man. Monster Hunter, let's go, let's get cracking. This is some heavy hitters for us. That looks good. This right here, Mom. I know the writing will be fine because it's John, and he's a solid writer, dude. He's a journeyman writer, is what I call him. So you know the writing's going to be good, even though the art is all over the place, dude. And the Alien Alamo from Graham Nolan, dude. Jesus, out of nowhere, huh? Interesting. Well, which one's your favorite there, Eric? You think?
I might have to go with Monster Hunt.
Yeah. How about you, Thunder?
I'd like to see a whole book from Weldon. I love his art style, and shoot, he uses Walmart pens to ink his work. It's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. The art is definitely Weldon all day. But I know a little bit about the AI Wars. I'm not going to get into it, but it's pretty good. Pretty good story. I would recommend, if you like a good comic story, it's got it in there, and it's on Amazon. It's easy to get. I'd recommend it heavily.
Yeah, no, I've read enough John stuff by now because I picked up a couple of his books and checked them out too. His noir detective stuff. He's a solid writer. I'm not worried at all. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like one step away from being. I honestly, if it wasn't for the political climate we're in, he'd be a much bigger writer than he is, and it's a shame because he is very, very skilled. Yeah. Very skilled writer.
Now, I'm going to go with Billy's, I think, even though I probably read all of them, to be honest with you. But I'm really happy that Billy's making a comeback and he's had success with it. I think it's pretty cool. But in general, I'm happy with all this stuff, and I'm also happy to see some of the artists in our community starting to get some actual opportunities because they deserve it. We have a lot of great artists over here, and a lot of them have no exposure whatsoever. Like we have Keenma, Eric, and she's very skilled artist. Her sequentials look good too.
Spectacular.
Dude. Yeah,
she is really good. She should be drawing for a company somewhere.
She should be. there's just a lot of really good artists over here, dude, and the system just messed up. And I understand it has to do with money, and they want to go to the Southeast Asia and get the cheap artists and stuff. But then again, I imagine a lot of these amateur, well, they're not even their ability is an amateur. They're just not getting paid much money, right, for what they do.
Hmm.
I'm sure they would take a fairly low page rate to do the job anyway. I mean, Eric, if you got an offer from let's say Dynamite or one of those indie companies, what kind of page rate would you accept?
Ooh, I would go low. I mean, it wouldn't be, I mean, dirt low, but I would do $100 a page.
$100 a page. Now, of course, you doing the art or the writing and stuff like that. It depends on how many levels of pay you get for each person. I get that, but the problem is, I've heard a rumor that some of these Southeast Asian people are doing $20 a page.
Yeah, they're doing really cheap. And there's, I think it was in a group the other day. They were talking about Southeast Asia and South America. They do really decent art sometimes, and for a really really low page rate.
Yeah, yeah. Now, I've actually seen a couple of South American artists who are actually outstanding.
But
Um,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, but we've had several of them on this show on several occasions. But whatever, it is what it is. But go check these out, man. All right, let's get more into more of our standard fare, and then we're going to get into democracy. We're doing democracy today. All right, here we go. Whew. Go ahead, Thunder.
New Topps trading cards reveal best looks at the Falcon and the Winter Soldiers Baron Zemo and John F. Walker.
Okay, so we know we have, even though they kind of they put it out in the wind to see if everyone would be interested in a gay romance buddy cop story, and everyone was like, "Bleh," something like that happened. Um, so they're
Wait.
not doing that. It sounds like. But Falcon in the Twitter. Man, my brain is. I gotta hit myself a couple times. So give me a second here. Okay. All right. The trailer. Falcon is kind of annoying, dude. It's kind of annoying. I hope it isn't that bad in the show. I'll certainly give it a shot. But the other problem you have is Falcon in no way can handle Winter Soldier, and he's being so flippant with him. Winter Soldier would wipe the floor with Falcon, dude.
He already has, in fact,
Yeah.
multiple times.
Multiple times. I mean, he's just not the same level, and we see this a lot of times. These kind of problems, like I'm very happy that Scarlett Johansson has getting her own Black Widow movie finally. I am, but as in the Avenger game, they have Black Widow just taking Taskmaster out easy, dude. She cannot even dance in his league.
No.
Not even close. I mean, Captain America can't deal with that guy, right? These movies, I guess they're just creating their own rules, I suppose. We shouldn't complain, I suppose, but it is odd. But anyway,
Well, the reason why it matters, though, is because one of the big problems Marvel has had the entire time, in the MCU especially, is the villains often suck. They're just
Yeah.
not well written.
that is true.
And when you have cool villains like Taskmaster, who, yeah, he's a little silly, comic booky, but so what? Lean into it. You lean into it with Thanos, and it worked.
And besides, why is Taskmaster with Black Widow? You should save that for your Spider-Woman movie.
Yeah.
I mean, right?
Hmm.
I don't know what they're doing. Well, whatever, But yeah, I agree. Here is like probably was a microsecond on on the trailer that no one saw because look how bad a capture that is.
Mm.
But
Oh, boy.
okay, yeah, they got a picture though. You guys ready? There it is.
So he's in a trench coat with basically a ski mask?
Yeah, well, it's
It's
a little more. It's purple, but I'm just saying this is hokey enough. Why didn't you just go full standard hokey? I don't know. It's like they tried to cool it up, but it's not. So just do it. I think it originally looked cooler than this.
Yeah, I don't like that hood one bit. I don't like it.
It just doesn't suit.
If you're gonna make it a helmet, make it a helmet. If you're gonna make it a mask, make it a mask. If you're gonna make it a hood, make it a hood. This is trying to be all of them. What are you doing?
Yeah, you're right. They should have made it a helmet. That would have been a good idea. But here's another fellow with. I'm wondering what they're going to do with Baron Zemo because Eric, if I'm not wrong, in the Avengers Ultron movie where we were introduced to Quicksilver and Wanda, they had a character in there that was hinted at being Baron Zemo, right?
Oh, that was Strucker.
Oh, that
And,
was
yeah,
no.
Strucker. So
I'm not talking.
Zemo
I'm not talking about Strucker.
Zemo was
We
in
had Strucker.
Civil War.
Yeah, Zemo was in Civil War.
Was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I remember
He didn't wear a
seeing.
mask or anything, but yeah, he
No.
was the guy that had them fight each other because he had lost his family. He was getting ready to kill himself
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
end.
That
And Black
that storyline. And Black Panther was sitting there giving him a chastisement. Yes, that guy. So I'm like, okay, is it the same guy? Is this a different guy? I don't know. But
Same actor, I do.
well, yeah, that's good. But the problem is the character in that movie was kind of, just a behind the scenes character. Baron Zemo, you do not want to tussle with him in a sword fight, right? This guy is like the old idea of the old noble Pratt that would absolutely drop you, like in Rob Roy. As a perfect
Mhm.
example, the dandy that was in Rob Roy is what Baron Zemo is, right?
Yeah.
And I just can't see that guy pulling off that action, or are they just not giving us that Zemo?
It's going to be a different Zemo.
Yeah, I just hope it isn't Zima. That would be disappointing.
Hmm.
Was that low hanging fruit, wasn't it? I know.
A bit.
Yeah.
Clear malt liquor from the early 90s.
Yeah. But I mean, that's one of the things I loved about Zemo, man. He's a best. See right here, he's a badass dude. He walks the walk, right?
Yeah.
I always like Zemo much better than Strucker. I mean, Strucker is a behind the scenes guy, right? Zemo,
And it's a good name, Zemo. It just sounds like a super villain.
It does. Yeah.
It's good.
Black Panther. Okay, we'll go with that, Brett. What is that? What is that? What exactly am I looking at here? This is a Topps card. This is John F. Walker. What? So, all right. So now we have a different. Is this what's going on?
This is U.S. Agent, and I believe he's played by Kurt Russell's son.
All right.
U.S. Agent.
All right. Hopefully the fruit does not fall too far from the tree. He's an ugly son of a bitch, but all right. Damn, dude, you're unfortunate. Your daddy was a pretty boy. Oh well. But all right, so they're doing that. All right, I get it. Okay, I see what they're doing. Yeah, U.S. agent. Yeah, that's what my tongue was stuck on. So, Falcon does not have the shield. It's been given to someone else, even though Rogers gave it to him directly. So the series is all about him earning it. All right, I'm cool with that.
It's just still, it annoyed me. You know what they need to do? Full stop. Disney owns both these properties. Just kill off Bucky. Give him a heroic sacrifice or something. I don't care, and just let him go be Luke Skywalker. Because
please, dude,
I don't want to see him be second fiddle to Falcon. He's a better character in the MCU than Falcon is. Falcon's not a bad character. He's pretty well written, but Bucky's arc is awesome from beginning to end. He's he's one of the best written characters in the whole thing.
He is,
and they just pushed him aside in Endgame. Just that's enough out of you.
Because
white
they
boy.
had to do Yay Woman, and they wanted to get rid of all the old stuff anyway. It was a bad choice. But I agree 100%. And for him being Luke Skywalker, it works in so many levels. Of course, he looks a lot like Mark Hamill, so that helps. But also, we're looking at a little bit older Mark, who's an actual Jedi Master, right? Because this actor wouldn't do a young Luke very well. But an older Luke, a darker Luke, he would.
A little bit more serious Luke? Yeah, he could do that.
Yeah.
And a stoic Luke who doesn't have to say very much, right? And no disrespect to him, I think he'd kill that.
He would.
We already seen him kill that kind of with Winter Soldier.
And
so
although the nerds are going to come at me for this, he'll handle the physicality a lot better than Mark Hamill.
Yes.
Yeah, Mark's not very physical.
No, I mean, not taking anything away from Mark. He was great as Luke Skywalker. It was great fun. But this is the choice. And he said, when an interviewer asked him, he says, "When do we start?" He's on board,
right.
dude. I mean, let's
Yeah.
get it.
Who would it be, right? You're genetically, it's like a destiny thing, right? You
Yeah.
have the look. We can pass you off almost perfectly for him, just like Ewan McGregor and the old guy Obi-Wan, whose name just escaped me from the original movies. They have
Yes.
almost the exact same triangle on their face, almost perfectly. He's a great choice for a young what is his name? For a younger version of him.
Sir Alec Guinness.
Alec Guinness, yeah. And this is kind of a similar thing, right? He has a very similar facial structure. The skin tone is very similar. He's already in the same company, right? He already works for Disney. There's no good reason not to pull this trigger other than they think they can CGI Luke's face forever. Please, God, don't. Please, God, don't. That was the worst part of that whole thing. It was great seeing Luke be Luke, but what the hell was that face? That was an abomination.
Fine until he talked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I mean,
The lower lip moved, and I was like, well, he's blinking, but there's something wrong with that mouth.
yeah, and we've seen several people deep fake it better already in a shorter period of time with far less money. But the thing is, we're all so excited to see Luke. Does anyone really care? No, we don't care.
Give me a chubby.
What was that, Eric?
Give me a chubby seeing him on screen again.
There you go. Yeah, it was really cool. I couldn't believe when I saw it because as soon as I saw it, I was what, Luke? What? No, they didn't pull that trigger. Because one of the things that's going to stand in the way of Sebastian Stans, I think is his name, this guy right here, becoming the new Luke is Kathleen Kennedy. Because her and her crew have lost all sanity over the fact that he was brought in, and how dare they? And they for no reason, they've given no explanation for why they don't like it. They're just not happy, and we know why. Because they want to eliminate white males. So this is a huge hurdle. The only good thing is it looks like Bob Iger, or the new Bob, has said, Favreau, well, you're in charge, you make the decision. So if that's true, then we might be able to get him in as Luke. So I don't know. Everyone's excited about it, and just do it, Disney. Damn it! All right,
just pull. It's money. It's sitting right there on the table, Disney. Pull the trigger and take the money. What are you waiting on?
And they're setting up the Thrawn trilogy already. Oh, come on, dude. Come on. And you know who they could get to play Thrawn? You know who'd be perfect? Jon Stewart.
Wait.
He was in a movie, Faculty. He's an actor, technically.
Occasionally, yeah.
Bye, Tank. See you, dude. Go ahead, dude.
Goblin Slayer officially announces second season. Releases new teaser visual.
Now, I'm not going to show the trailer because we know how YouTube is, but it's not even a trailer. It's really just kind of a recap they have down here. And it even says that in the title. It's this a recap of season 1 for season 2. So it's not actually, I didn't watch it, but that's what it says what it is. So I'm sure that's what it is. But here's the thing. I know this isn't technically, well, it is comic book related. It's just manga. I watched this because a few of you guys suggested it to me. I loved it. And it's got a couple things in. I'm not the biggest fan of this kind of art style. There's a lot of little things I don't like about this kind of anime, but I absolutely adored it. And the reason why is because it's one of the closest animations that I've ever seen to Dungeons and Dragons. Better than the Dungeons and Dragons show.
In that cartoon from the 80s?
Yeah.
That wasn't really done that well anyway. It was fun to watch.
It was fun, and of course I watched it every week just like everybody else. But the thing with this, though, this person who wrote this story clearly is a big tabletop RPG guy, particularly Dungeons and Dragons. It has a lot of the feel and the love of D&D in it, and it's a fun little show. It does a great job, and the fact that the SJWs decided to go all controversy on it just made it more people aware. So thank you. What are they upset about? They're upset about a bunch of monsters, kind of in almost off screen raping some girls. Well, that just makes you hate them more. Isn't that kind of a standard storytelling vehicle?
Yes,
I'm pretty sure.
Yes, that's bad guys are supposed to do bad things. Yes. That's why they're bad guys.
Yeah, but that's the only thing they were upset about. because I didn't hear any other complaints. But it was it's the devil. But I like this show. I'm looking forward to season two, and I want to see where they go with the arc. Are we going to learn more about the Goblin Slayer himself? And because he just kills goblins, he doesn't care. Women, children. Well, there are no women, but children. He just murders the hell out of them, dude. It's a very interesting little anime. I haven't read the manga. Maybe I should pick it up. I'll ask my kids if the manga is better than the anime and see. But yeah, I just wanted to put it up here because I like it.
So
Any other
you're really
comments?
embracing the weed, huh? The Goblin Slayer, the Demon Hunters. You were really going
Well,
all in here, aren't you?
well, I wouldn't say I'm a fan of Demon Slayer or Kimetsu no Yaiba. I watched it simply because so many of my kids watched it, my students. So I think it had some good things in it, but it's not. I wouldn't watch it of my own accord. I think. But I do like some anime. You don't like some anime, Eric?
I've never really been a big fan, other than the cheesy stuff we got over here in the '70s and early
Oh
'80s.
yeah, those are
It,
fun
it just
though.
never got into it, and I didn't even know it was anime then. I just thought it was a cool cartoon.
I remember when I was a kid, my bus stop was a little bit away from my house, maybe I don't know, 400 yards, 500 yards, something like that. And uh, but the timing of when I got out of school and off the bus stop, I literally had to run home to be able to see Star Blazers and Gatchaman or Force 5 and things like that. I literally had to run or I'd miss the opening, which I'd seen a thousand times, but I had to see it. Had to
Yeah,
see it,
yeah.
right? So I
Yeah, you
remember
felt like
fun.
you were missing something if you didn't see the opening. You thought, "Oh no, I missed it."
Right, right. But I literally had to run that distance to be able to make it. It was so tight. But yeah, whatever. Those are good memories though. But those are fun though. I prefer that art style from back then anyway more than I do the long faced, stretched out body stuff they do today. But whatever. I do like this. I think it's a good story. It's very interesting, and if you like tabletop stuff, you'll love it. It's got so many little wink winks to you. Left and right, and it's neat because we've seen a couple of anime coming here out of Japan that have people who have an absolute appreciation for American things. You don't see that a lot. The appreciation for Western things here in Japan is very superficial. Like they'll wear a Disney shirt, but they've never actually seen a Mickey Mouse cartoon, right? Same with SpongeBob, Powerpuff Girls, whatever. They love the imagery, the commercialism of it, but they don't know the thing. But recently, we've seen a couple things from the anime that show the opposite. This guy who creates this is clearly a tabletop gamer, a D&D'er, obviously. We also have with My Hero Academia is a person who is obviously a Marvel comic book fan. It's clear. So if you haven't seen My Hero Academia, you should because it's some of the best comic book stuff going on right now, which is sad. But yeah, it is neat to see that. Anyway, I'll
I
move
would
on.
say it literally is the best. In fact, it's fantastic.
It's really well written. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
And well, anyway. But moving on. Now this is for Thundero. Go ahead.
New Godzilla vs. Kong theory postulates that the war bat is the MonsterVerse's greatest threat.
Now,
The
uh,
war bat?
yeah, well, now you might not know this offhand. I don't know if there was a movie specifically with Warbat, but Eric and I might remember. Remember Godzilla and Godzuki? Remember the cartoon show?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you
Up
remember?
from the deeds, 40 stories tall, Godzilla. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, Warbat's from that Thundero.
Oh, I don't remember
Um,
that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All I remember is the theme song in Godzuki. Really.
Mm, yeah, and Godzuki, right? Anyway,
Yep. Yep.
so let's go down and take a look what they got here. But that's where it's coming from. They do a few stills here, which we already seen in the trailers. They have a thing here, which I'm not. Once again, I'm not going to play because we'll just get hammered. We're not allowed. We're not big enough or important enough. But here is Warbat, and it's you can buy a toy, which spoilers. Um, Got his face up in there. This is like a snaky thing, cobra thingy. But here's a clip from the actual cartoon. So,
Interesting.
and we, of course, we see Kong throwing around these thingies he was fighting before. So, the article is just really more hype for Godzilla versus Hong Kong. Hong Kong, yeah, that would be good. Let's do Hong Kong. They need someone to save their ass.
Please.
King Kong, sorry. But it's weird for me though because man, I love the kaiju fight stuff, but I still not interested in Kong fighting Godzilla. But watching the trailer though, Thundero,
hmm
one thing I noticed, and I'm curious, is the Godzilla in the trailer is much smaller than the Godzilla from the last movie. I'm wondering if it's actually Godzuki
It could be.
or Minida, I think the
Uh,
Japanese would call it. Yeah,
He did seem smaller.
he's much smaller, way smaller, dude, like half.
Well,
the size.
Mechagodzilla's in the trailer. Spoiler: if you go to like 4 seconds and pause it, you can see his jaw in the background over
Right.
top of people running away. But Mechagodzilla's definitely coming, no question.
Oh,
Like there's literally there's lights coming out of it and everything else. So 100% that was Mechagodzilla.
so
Uh,
maybe at the end of the last movie, Godzilla was triumphant, but maybe his, expulsion of radiation and all that stuff that happened, maybe it dropped him, and they got a hold of him and they mechanized him. Maybe they're cyborging Godzilla, but there's an egg that we see in the beginning, and it grows, and it's trying to free Godzilla from this control, or I don't know. I'm speculating, because
well,
unless they
what I've
screwed up.
seen put out there, well, maybe what I've seen put out there is basically a Batman versus Superman bait and switch type deal, where they'll fight for X reason, whatever, and the reason they'll bring in Kong is because Godzilla, like the trailer said, he's attacking people and they don't know why.
Right.
Either that's Mechagodzilla in like a camouflage or something, or Godzilla knows Mechagodzilla's out there and he's looking for him, trying to draw him out, and they've misinterpreted as him attacking. Or it's all some big ruse, and none of what we saw is remotely accurate to what's happened in the movie, at least from the plot perspective. But I don't think you're going to see a definitive like King Kong or Godzilla wins type deal, especially considering they plan on making this its own like series of movies. They call it the Monsterverse, and they've been doing this for a while now. So I don't think it makes sense to have one or the other actually beat the other, like fully.
Right.
Maybe one will get beat down, but not fully. So most likely they're going to end up teaming up and fighting something.
Of course that's going to happen, but the trailer did insinuate a lot, very, very heavy-handedly actually, that Kong doesn't back down, big fight, and it really felt to me watching the trailer that Kong's going to win. Now, if he's fighting a Mechagodzilla that's in disguise, which is smaller, or Godzuki, then that's fine. But I don't know what to tell you. Brett said that he did say that Kong was going to be bigger. Yeah, but in the trailer, he's not bigger. It's the same Kong we had from Kong Skull Island. And Godzilla is smaller. I mean, he's less than half size. So it's what's going on, right? Did they just screw it up or not give a shit? Or is there something deeper going on?
It could be, and we have to leave on the table that option. They're just throwing the movie out there and they don't care that there's inconsistencies, which would be a shame. Because
that's probably what it is, too. Yeah, they just didn't pay attention when they did them. Like, oh, crap.
Because Godzilla in the first 2 Godzilla movies is massive. He's the second biggest he's ever been, ever. And he's just, in movie, he's the biggest he's ever been. I guess there's some comic or something where there was like a giant, really huge Godzilla. But yeah, he's massive. Him and Ghidorah are practically the size of like 3 or 4 city blocks, just themselves, just standing. And he's definitely not that big in that trailer. He's standing on what looks like an aircraft carrier, and he's not even, like, he's just standing on it. Him and Godzilla are both on it at the same time. or King Kong are both on at the same time. So I think there's something going on there. They've either just said screw the continuity and downside and just let that happen so the fight can happen, or like you said, he used up so much power that it actually caused him to shrink down.
Or they'll come up with some dumbass thing. Save Mothra. I agree, Dave. Brett says maybe the ship is a super ship like their giant plane base in the last movie. Well, yeah, they do have that going on, and of course that's a take from the old Japanese movies, right? Because one of the things we haven't seen happen yet, that was a big theme in many Godzilla movies, especially during the kid era, were the aliens, right? There are aliens that are trying to take over Earth, and they're in many of those Godzilla movies. We haven't seen even a hint of that. Do you think they're going to go that way, Eric, or just leave it?
I think they're going to leave it and just make the human race be the evil people.
Yeah, that seems to be their goal. Yeah, that was a great plot. Good job. It's really good job.
I think I actually think this is probably like a Godzilla. He's like the endoskeleton of like a T2 or something. And it'll probably end just like Rocky 3 with the real Godzilla and King Kong freeze framing on a punch to each other.
Maybe. Well, we have that right here in front of you. We have that right here. And here's the thing. This shows you the size discrepancy very easily on this carrier. If you look at Kong, he's exactly the same size as Skull Island. Look at it. You see the helicopter down here. You see his hand size. We saw what he did. He's exactly the same size. He's no bigger, right? But Godzilla...
I don't know. That's a little helicopter right there between their legs, right? That's tiny.
Well, yeah, but no, it's the same size as it was in the movie, though, because we saw what he was doing, and we saw his size in comparison to a helicopter quite clearly, right? So, I mean, he's no different. He's exactly the same size. Godzilla, on the other hand, is less than half his size. Look at this. I mean, Godzilla was towering over all the buildings in the second movie.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he was absolutely massive.
He looks small and weak here. He looks pathetic. It's a weird choice. I'm hoping that there's some clever people who are doing some cool stuff and hey, we got a cool idea, and they're going to give it to us. They're going to give it to me. They're going to give it to me. But it's hard to feel that way because the last movie, the kaiju stuff was great, but the human stuff was crap. It was a dumb story. It's a dumb idea. A lot of bad acting going on. It was just a hot mess, dude.
Yeah.
I hope this will be better. I mean, the first movie was pretty well done, so we could have some hope. I say, ding ding. Hello, Dave. Oh no, there goes Tokyo. Go Godzilla. Yeah, fair enough.
I think
I've said that.
Here's where I'm at with this movie.
The next target, really.
I'm going into it just like I did King of the Monsters. I'm shutting my brain off. I'm not going to listen to it, and I'm just going to watch the big monsters fight. That's all I want from it. Yeah. I want that to look awesome.
Yeah.
In the last movie, the fights were unbelievable.
Yeah.
Super Saiyan Godzilla was amazing. It was so cool. That's what I want.
Yeah.
However, if it's so bad that I can't do that, I'm going to be upset. And if they don't explain the size stuff, it can be something stupid. Just give me something so I can shut my brain back off. It's gonna annoy me, and I'm not gonna be able to just enjoy the monsters fighting. Yeah. That's what I want to see. I want to see just big giant monsters doing big giant monster shit all over my screen. That's all I want.
Yeah. And Adrian, that's what we've been speculating. That's not Godzilla, that's Godzuki. We've been speculating that because something's wrong, and we're hoping that they're not that inept that they just screwed it up. But there's a neat little twist. It's Godzuki. Maybe Mecha Godzilla is Godzilla who's been cybernized and under control. I mean, there's all kind of cool little things they could do, like Final Wars. Yeah.
How cool would it be if that is what happened? They don't have an actual robot Godzilla. They have a cyborg Godzilla. They captured him. They cyborged him up, right? And King Kong, because he's a smart ape, figures that out and goes and tries to help him. So it's not really that they're fighting, it's that he keeps attacking Kong when Kong's trying to help him. That could be cool. That could be a cool little storyline.
Yeah.
Because, he's being controlled by the cyber crap. Yeah.
But we have Billy Bobby Benson, whatever the fuck her name is. And so don't expect anything other than...
Bobby, Millie... Millie Brown.
Oh, that's what it is. That's what it is. But we have to make sure we put aside a good 30 minutes for her to cry in various locations. You see, Thunder. That's very essential. We need that.
Yes, she must cry. I've noticed she's also, since she's older now, they've actually tried to
Ugly
make her
shit?
look.
Oh no, no.
Well, I mean, she's not
Be
pretty, but
mean.
they've tried to make her look pretty. They got her in makeup. Yeah, she's got on nightly. They're trying to glam it up instead of just letting her be a little girl, because I think she's probably almost 18 now, right? She's got to be real close.
Yeah.
So they
Really
can
rather
do that.
unattractive though.
Well,
Well, it doesn't matter though. She's not playing the pretty girl, so it's all right. But we just keep getting a lot of these really not pretty girls, like that Maisie whatever Walleye girl. What's her name? Maisie Walleye. We'll call her that.
Macy Walleye. Yeah.
Jesus, dude.
I don't know who that is.
That's the girl from Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah. There was a bunch of ugly ones on there.
Yeah, they were cute when they were little. You know, the ironic thing is, I use the word ironic ironically here. The girl who played little Arya, she was cute, and then she wasn't. The girl who played Sansa was cute, and then she really wasn't. But the other sister, who was just kind of sent away and wasn't part of the story at all, look at her now. Damn. So they made it. But you can't tell. This is something I'm joking. I don't really care if she's pretty. No, who cares? From being serious for a moment, I teach children, and I've been doing it for 2 decades, and it's a very interesting little thing that you can see the cutest little kid when they're little, just like this is cute as a button, right? And then they'll get older, and they what happened? What the hell happened, right? And then you have the uncle,
like a puppy,
well,
or a kitten, just like that.
Well, I'm just saying that it isn't when they're little. It isn't as expect necessarily what it's going to turn out at, and out as, and the opposite is also true. I've seen it happen many times. It is an interesting thing. The cute factor we all know is part of the survival adaptation of mammals, right? But some of them they don't grow up well. Well, that's the way it is. Yeah, it's the way it is. But like I said, I love kids, especially when I don't have to bring them home. That's the best part, Eric.
Yeah.
So I'm joking. I actually love my students. I really enjoy watching kids grow up and seeing their mind open, and all those kind of things are neat as a teacher. It's one of the benefits of being a teacher. I think the problem is when I hear a lot of these teachers these days in the West, and all the just ridiculous level of propaganda and stupid shit coming out of their mouth, you're not enjoying the best parts of your job, man. You're really not. Because one of the coolest things of being a teacher is not only having the opportunity to mold a mind, which is what they seem to be focused on, it's to watching the mind unfold, watching them grow up, watching them grow into becoming adults, watching them, take on new hobbies and new excitements and all these kind of things. I know I'm being sappy right now, but that's the best part of being a teacher, man. It's watching these kids become human. It's neat. And these teachers in the West, man, they are missing the plot, dude. They really are.
They don't care.
Yeah.
Just a job for them. They don't care.
I guess.
I just want you gentlemen to know.
Great ones out there, I'm sure, but yeah, a lot of them just come in, do their day, and go home.
I need you gentlemen to understand, and I need you to take this into yourselves, right? Millie Bobby Brown has a brother named Charlie.
Oh, yay! And does she have a best friend named Lucy? I bet she does.
Kids.
Yeah. Charlie Brown. That's mean, dude.
That's like being your last name Daniels and naming your kid Jack. What are you doing?
Yeah. Brett's also made a very, very, very intelligent comment over here. He says the prettiest girl in Game of Thrones was Jon Snow. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah. He was very pretty. He was a pretty man.
It still is pretty boy. But anyway, I just if you don't, but the thing with that is, guys, and I understand your point, and it seems to be true. But if you don't love your job, if you can't find a way to love your job, then what the hell are you doing, man?
Yeah, quit. Find a different job.
Yeah, go find another job or get some useless, insignificant job like working in a convenience store or something, and
Yeah,
just make yourself a little money and then go live your hobby or whatever. If you can't
yeah.
love your job, what are you doing, man? I mean, come on.
Life is too short to be
Yeah,
miserable.
yeah, it
Don't
is.
do it.
Yeah, yeah. But anyway, let's move on from this. The anticipation of it possibly being cool is exhilarating. This new movie. The kaiju stuff should be fine. They've already proven themselves on that. Well, here's hoping that we actually have a story. That would be kind of cool. You know,
It would.
unique. It would be. Now, here's our last thing before. Well, I do have one other thing. I don't know if I'll get to it or not, but here's our last thing before we get into. Well, no, we're going to get into it now. Go ahead.
Marvel Comics announces they will allow fans to choose the next member of the X-Men.
Okay. Now, you get to vote. And we're going to vote today. I have it all set up.
Uh-oh.
Now,
Democracy in action, everyone.
democracy in action. Now, this straight up article coming from the point of view of Jean Grey, who is not Jean Grey anymore. I don't care what you say. And Cyclops, who's still a dick. So, um, they're talking to us. They're fourth wall breaking here. That's pretty cool, I guess, maybe. But anyway, you get to make a choice on who's going to be, because I guess there's a couple of heroes who declined the offer to be part of the X-Men, so there's 2 seats available. So they need to bring in 2 people. Now, one thing I find interesting here, they don't seem to specify that they're filling both seats with your vote. Matter of fact, I kind of think you're only going to let you get one. And they're going to choose the other one, which is fine. But I would argue that are we going to actually get a vote anyway? Because in the end, well, we don't get to see the end results, do we? They can just say this person won. So I don't know. But we're going to check it out of here. I'm over on the page. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, fine. Thank you. But I probably shouldn't have clicked that without reading it. Oh, no. But here is our list that we get to pick from. So let's take a look here. And at these lists of characters, we have options. So, first one, we have a choice to add to the X-Men roster to be the new X-Men going into the future, I guess. Banshee. Now,
Oh, he was dead.
well, it's comic books, dude. If Marvel wants me to get excited, we need to be given power to vote creators off the island. I agree with that 100%, Brett. But let's just take it as if this is legitimate, because let's be fair, it's probably not, right? So I'm asking 2 questions here. I'm going to go through all the options we have, and we're going to, as a group, we're going to make a decision on who we're going to vote for, and I'm going to press a button, right? But then we're also going to ask the question, who do you think they're going to force on us, right? Who have they already chosen to win? Because I can't, they have lost so much faith from me that I don't believe anything they say. It's kind of like politicians. Yeah. Anyway, Banshee. What do we think about the dead zombie Banshee being a member of the X-Men? What do you think?
Zombie Banshee. I think I want Zombie Banshee. I want that whole arc.
That'd be neat. Yeah. Or Silver Banshee. Yeah.
Can someone explain to me why Banshee is a dude? I've never understood that.
That's a good question.
Well, he is a good Irishman, and he's always been portrayed that way. I do understand these days that for quite a while, and I blame D&D for this. I think that the Banshee or the Barrow Spectre is a female persona, but in reality, it's not. A Banshee is just an undead spirit that's really pissed off, right? So it technically is not weird, but I get your point.
Well,
though.
I'm going to have to actually you here. A Banshee is Irish folklore, and they almost always are female. Now, they can be male, but they're almost always female spirits.
Yes.
So it's just odd that, especially like you said, most people modern do think of a female when they think of a Banshee, right? They just, immediately, that's where your head goes. So it's just strange. It's always been strange to me that Banshee's a dude. I've never understood it.
Well,
for one, it sounds like a chick name. Banshee sounds like a chick name. And it would be a much better character as a chick.
Well, you know
But
what?
that's neither here nor there. I don't want Banshee anyway. I don't like Banshee.
Well, but now that's a fair point you brought up because maybe, and Adrian too, maybe I have made an assumption here, Eric. I might have done a cardinal sin, I do believe,
I believe
because
you have,
I may have
because
because
I do agree with Thundero, but they did bring in his daughter as Banshee as well.
that's the point. I
Yeah.
think I made a mistake because they didn't give us an image. They just gave us just very poorly written words at the bottom with a little click next to it. So Adrian and you guys might be right. It may be Banshee, but it may be the girl Banshee, the daughter.
Oh, okay.
Oh. And in that case, and seeing as we know Marvel as well as we do, it's not Silver Banshee. That's a different one here. This one right here. Okay. Here we go. I
Oof.
don't think this is actually correct, but we'll go with it. Good enough. Good enough. All right, there we go. This is probably what they're talking about. Yeah, all right.
Should just search Banshee's daughter.
Oh, yeah, but I like this one. All right. So there you go. That's probably accurate. I do apologize for this. The thing is, Marvel's Banshee is trans now. Probably is Captain Canada. But anyway, we got Banshee. Now Banshee's been around a long time though, and he's been
Yeah.
in the movies as well,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
So
that's
he's
true.
not unknown. Okay, let's move on to the next one here. We have Polaris. Now Polaris is just a version of Captain Marvel, isn't it? Or am I wrong on that? I may be wrong on that. No, I think it is a version of Captain Marvel, isn't it? It's Carol
She's
Danvers.
like a female version of Magneto, and at first she thought she was Magneto's daughter, but ended up being false. Remember correctly. So
All
she
right.
has the powers of magnetism.
Oh, she does. Okay, so I'm wrong on that. Well then when
Again,
well, no,
you're
I
two
mean
for two.
it happens, Eric. So the Carol Danvers became a different character other than or Miss Marvel. What was it then?
Binary?
Binary. It's so similar, but whatever. She's a Magneto type character. Thank you, Adrian. I know I've seen her before. I certainly recognize the character. She's cute. If they draw her like this, she might get a vote. Anyway, next one. We got Forge. Now,
I like Forge.
Forge
always
is
liked
awesome.
Forge, too.
Now, Banshee, female version. Banshee's been around a while. It's okay. I don't know this character well, even though I do recognize it. But Forge, however, now this is a character you could do a lot with, and they have.
Mhm.
And he's not white, so that gets him bonuses with the Marvel people. I'm thinking.
I
I'm
believe
not
he's
sure.
Navajo.
Huh?
I believe he's Navajo.
He's something like a mixed, something like that. And his
Yeah.
power's really cool. And he's not really an action star. Usually, he's building stuff. Most of the things that the X-Men have, he builds, right? Because that's his thing. He's a builder, right?
Mhm.
But he's been in the X-Men many times before. He is an X-Men. So I don't know. What do you guys think about Forge?
I love the idea of Forge. I think Forge is a heavily underutilized character, and he has one of the coolest names of all Marvel characters. Forge is a great name, and yeah, that's unless somebody wins me over, I'm picking Forge.
Yeah, it's not a bad choice. What do you think, Eric?
And Forge is apparently a Cheyenne. He's from the Cheyenne tribe.
Giant.
Oh,
Okay.
I just knew he wasn't.
I've always
white.
liked Forge. I always thought he was really cool when they introduced him, or when I first saw him in the comic books. And definitely, it was the name that drew me to him.
Yeah.
And at first, you didn't kind of like him because he took Storm's powers and all that. But then he became a very integral part of the X-Men for a long time after that.
Pansexual Forge. This sounds like some weird dwarven initiative. Jesus. But I do like Forge, but I think that he was always underutilized. He is always a background
Yes.
character, was building stuff, right? He
Mhm.
got a couple little arcs, but in general, I thought he was kind of wasted. But all right, so we got Forge. Moving on here, we got Boom Boom. Why the hell does Boom Boom have a sword? Someone tell me this.
Why do you have a Liefeld drawing up there? Ugh.
Because I wanted to show that Rob can do feet if they are done by somebody else. Yeah, why does Boom Boom have a sword? Boom Boom is Boom Boom. She does, make things go boom.
Look how her hand is holding that sword. That is not even possible.
It's Rob Liefeld, dude. Come on. I mean, it's a phenomena. He's such a cute little boy when he came in. I just think he was someone's little toy. Oh, did I say that?
Oh, whoa, whoa.
Boom Boom has always been a Jubilee ripoff in my mind. So no Boom Boom. Pass on Boom Boom.
Yeah, she's absolutely a Jubilee ripoff, 100%. But yeah, I still don't get why Boom Boom has a sword. Rob, damn it. All right, but nah, Boom Boom has always been kind of lame, dude. But whatever. Now, this one right here, I can't even remember the name of this character. Hold on a second. A Tempo. All right, Tempo here. Don't even know this character, dude.
Who is this? I don't know.
No
I've never
clue.
heard of it. Nope.
It's a proud African American though, and she's fighting. She's standing up against Strife, I guess. She
Looks
must
like
be powerful.
Strife, yeah.
Yeah. That's a basically a Cable clone. Don't want to mess with that. That's pretty deadly. But I don't even know this character. Can anyone help me? Everyone agrees. No, Boom Boom. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. She is
No,
Flan
yeah,
Julian,
definitely
man.
not.
Yeah. Boom Boom will be a lesbian. Adrian is making prognostications about the various sexual identity of the characters who will be chosen. That's nice. We found their winner. I don't even know this character, dude. I'd have no clue who this character is.
Yeah, I'm looking her up, and I don't recognize her ever being in the comics.
I chose this because it was the closest, best close up. There isn't even much art on her. Here's another picture of her. Um, I just don't know this character at all, dude. I have no clue who it is. She seems like she can fly, maybe. She's got a weird
That's
ass
an
helmet.
old drawing.
It
It's
is.
from an old, so it's really bad. None of us can remember her. We've probably seen her and just don't remember her at all.
Well, no, she's up for election and probably will win. But let's move on. Cannonball. Now,
Hmm.
now the Civil War run, Cannonball became Penance, of course, and he was integral to that whole storyline. So it's not like Cannonball hasn't gotten lots and lots of love in the past, or hate, depending how you look at it, I suppose. But do we want Cannonball back? This is a New Mutant.
No.
He
like
was in a movie.
Cannonball. Yeah, I like him, but I'm still going with Forge so far.
Yeah, and his power, it takes a lot of work for the writer to make him interesting because his power is just he can move forward and fly, not even control it really. Yeah, I don't know about Cannonball, but it's an option. Sunspot. Now they've been making a bunch of noise about Sunspot lately. He was in that mediocre movie that came out. At least it wasn't as bad as we thought it was going to be, though. And he's the right non-white gender. Oh, I'm sorry. Is gender now? I'm wrong. Gender and race are identically the same thing. Yes, I was right. Yeah, that's right.
Here's with Sunspot. I love Sunspot's powers. I think they're really neat. I just don't. Nah, Forge is a better character. He just is. He's a better written character. I like his origin. I like all of his powers. I wish they would dive into it better, and they could really do something really cool with him. So I just I like Sunspot's power set. It's an interesting. I just don't like him.
I just thought he was another wasted character because I don't recall. I remember seeing him a whole bunch of times. I've seen him in animated stuff, but I don't remember anyone fleshing out who he is and why he does what he does. I just don't recall that.
He was a kind of yeah. They didn't do a lot with him. He was in the New Mutants for a long time. I think he ended up leaving when Cable took over. Because nobody really cared about him. He just left.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing we're kind of missing here: character development.
Yeah.
A lot of these characters we love not because of the powers they have, but because of who they are. Right. And Forge, even though I think he was horribly underused in the Claremont runs, we do know who he is. We do know what he stands for. Well, etc. So whatever. Sunspot. Why? Why exactly? Strong guy.
Can't
Uh,
even. I
is
can't even
is
answer
this
that
just a
one.
rigged poll? I mean, are they just trying to narrow us psychologically into choosing one that they want? Um, who wants strong guy? I mean, he has headaches. Let him rest, please. All right,
Yes, headache.
he does. Let's move on. Marrow. Another one of the now was this one of the characters that came out like with Dust when Ethan was doing X-Men stuff? Because I know
No, this was Joe Maduria.
okay.
When Joe
Now,
Mad was doing it, this is when Marrow came out.
well, now we saw a kind of Marrow character in the movie, but it was a guy instead that was, making spikes and pulling and throwing them, right? Um,
Yeah.
so I always thought, well, isn't that Marrow? I didn't know what they were doing. That was a gender swap the other direction, or maybe not. I don't know what they were doing with that. But this is another character that I can't tell you anything about beyond her power set. She just makes bone stuff. Anybody? Anybody?
Yeah, no.
Her and Angel dated for a little bit. But that's really all I can really
Oh,
remember.
come on. Angel could do so much better,
I just
He
meh.
liked it rough.
I guess. Brett says she was a whore before she joined the X-Men. I think they were
That's
trying
true.
to
She
make
was
a
a
statement
prostitute. Yeah.
that she liked to bone or something. Yeah, that's probably the juvenile delinquency that went over in Marvel at that time. But they had a lot of whores. I mean, X-23 was one, right? And I think she was underage as well. Oh God. Yeah, I don't know anything about this character, nor do I care. Her character design is awful. It's just god awful. Look at it. It's crap, dude. Why are these bone ridges on her face? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Is that why you thought Ethan did
Well, I don't. I liked his Dust design. I thought the Dust character was pretty cool. But whatever. I get the joke. I don't. This is not interesting to me at all. But there it is. And then last but certainly not least, Armor, who she's been in an animated series as well.
Mm.
So don't know much about this character either. Now, I suppose we could say, well, that's a good thing. They could put her on the X-Men, and we can get some character development, and we can learn more about this character. But we know that's not going to happen. So doesn't matter. Maybe it's better to go with people we already know who are established. But that's where we got here. We have a choice between characters we don't really know much about, although I like the idea of the power sets. The armor girl is an interesting power set. We got the Marrow. We got freaking strong guy. We got Sunspot. We got Cannonball again. We have Tempo. Well, no clue. We got fucking Boom Boom. We got Forge. And we have Polaris, who is an established character, and we have probably Girl Banshee. So she is Japanese, I know. She was in the animated X-Men stuff, I do believe. And I think they gave a little bit of backstory. But nevertheless, what are we picking, guys?
I'm still with Forge. I like Forge.
I mean, Forge for me too.
Yeah, no, I think I'm gonna have to go with Forge because I'd like to see more development of Forge, but I know we won't get it.
See, Forge's power set is so. It's almost. I don't want to say it's unique, but it's relatively unique. Not really, anybody else has it, and they could do so much with it. Especially since he is also a shaman. He has mystic abilities. They could blend those two together, and he could do really cool stuff. But they've never done it, and he always just gets put in the back to do research, basically.
Well,
And I want to see that develop. I want to see them develop him, develop his powers, and let him make some really cool, like technomancy powers. That could be
yeah,
sweet.
it would be. And they did have a little run with him going up against, I think, Mr. Sinister, which they dealt with it a little bit. And Maddox, of course, Box or Maddox, they kind of seem to have made him Forge in a way. Because before he was
Mm.
just an inventor who was in a wheelchair, created a mobile suit for him to move around in. But now all of a sudden, Maddox is basically Forge, but a
Yeah,
lot better at it. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't.
Yeah.
No, I don't either.
Yeah, no, that's what they did with the box character, which I thought was bizarre. But all right, well, I think I'm probably going to go with Forge as well. Although the little bit I did see the armor character, I thought she could be a cool character. But Forge. So what does the chat think? Chat F's for
Looks
Forge.
looks like they've so far, at least from what they've said, they agree with us. Most of them.
Yeah,
Forge.
I'm going to wait for the F's in chat though,
Here,
because
I
that's
like
like
it. Here you go.
that's like a thing, and I want to be able to be part of the modern thing.
There's an F. We got an F.
We do have one. Just one. And there's another one. Why people do
That's
as you're
yours.
told.
Why did
But
Lady
thank you,
Celtic
lady.
Moon's F's get blocked?
Who knows with YouTube anymore?
Because she's the wrong kind of female.
Adrian's only picking Tempo because he thinks the poll's rigged and they're going to pick Tempo anyway.
He's probably right. He's probably right. Adrian says, I think they did make Forge bisexual. Of course, everyone's bisexual now, dude.
That's the new rules.
Captain Canada says, boom, boom, long time. All right, well.
If I had to pick a second place, sadly, it probably would be Cannonball.
Really? I think I go to armor.
I like, again, I like the concept of armor. I don't like the design of armor. If they redesign armor and make her armor look, cool and not whatever that nonsense is that I looked up here a minute ago, I think I'd like her. But
Well, they do have an opportunity to do that, though, Thundera, because the initial introduction armor we have is her as a kid who is still learning her power. So they could introduce a adult armor who has mastered her power, and therefore it could do something different with it. All these characters technically have a lot of room to grow, except for a strong guy. No, we don't need strong guy. But all of them do have room to grow. Tempo in particular, because who is she? Right? And she fits the demographic, black woman, and she's probably a transgender Muslim. Pretty sure that's going to happen.
But what about Native American shaman man? That don't fit the demo. They need Native American shaman man, and it would be kind of cool to lead more into his mystic training and
Maybe
have
handicap
X-Men.
too.
Yeah, have X-Men
He
do
does.
some of that.
Missing a leg. Yeah, that's right.
Have the X-Men do some of that. Have them fight some more mystic stuff. Deal with more mystic troubles with him as their kind of like their guide. That could be cool.
It could be cool. And now that I think of it more, they won't choose armor because she's Asian, and Asians all of a sudden have been put into the white category. So yeah, that's not happening. But I guess we're going with Forge. Forge for the win, I suppose. This is what it looks like is happening here. Shaman is a male Native American from Alpha Flight. Yeah, we know that, dude. We're talking about the technomancy of Forge, right?
Yes.
Anyway, so let's. I clicked it. Hold on a second. I clicked it. There it is, and then I'm
It'd
done.
be funny if it wouldn't even let you pick Forge. I was like, no, not Forge.
Goes directly to boom, 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 boom.
I voted in the X-Men election. It's not going to give us any information. It's not going to tell us who's winning. It's not going to tell us anything.
Mm-hmm.
So they do have some things. Oh no, it is the male Banshee. Look.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he came back. I don't know.
Why is?
Well, he's an undead now. It makes more sense for his name.
Fair enough. What is this picture of Boom Boom? That's not Boom Boom. What that's that Latino with a blonde dye job? What the hell? Cannonball, Forge, yes. Marrow. But this is Marvel, by the way. This is the best art they could find for these things. This is your choice of strong guy. Really? Jesus, Marvel. Sunspot is looking all sexy, and Tempo is better art than I could find online. All right, so we could go by what they're offering. All right, Sunspot looks good. Tempo's clean. Definitely not strong guy. Marrow doesn't look so great. Polaris that's all right. Cannonball's good art. Forge is zoomed in. Don't know what the hell.
It's very zoomed in for some reason. They really wanted you to see Forge's chin. It was imperative that you know he has a chin. So they got right up on there.
They did, yeah. And Armor here, I don't know her name offhand, but I do know that Japanese people do not have that skin complexion. I know that. But maybe she's just in shadow. I don't know. It's all suspect, right? Because there's no information. We don't know. We don't have a percentage underneath of who's winning. Nothing. And so, which means that you have no real say, I would think. But what do you now? The before I go on to the last little laughable story we have, which will take 2 minutes. What do you think about them even bothering to do this?
It's a marketing ploy. That's about it. About the breadth and the width of my thoughts on it. It'd be cool if if it was legit and we could confirm it was legit and they actually let people do that. But I think Adrian's probably right. It's probably a sham from the word jump.
Yeah.
And that's a shame because it could be pretty cool to see where the fans are, right?
Yeah.
And maybe that's part of why they're doing it. They're trying to see, because they want to get, diversity people even more so, apparently. So they're trying to see which ones people will flock to, right? Which ones people will be attracted to. And it's kind of interesting that all of us like Forge, and most of our chat likes Forge. And we didn't even know what tribe he's from, right? Like, I looked it up. I didn't know. Because that part of his character, while it's important, isn't like that's who he is.
No,
Forge is a lot more than that.
It wasn't even a big thing in the comic at all. He's just Forge. But I don't have a problem with them exploring that more, though. Now, the only reason I would say that possibly this legit is because there's two. We get to pick one. Therefore, whatever the fans pick of the limited choice we are given, and then they get to put whoever they want in there. That's the only reason I can say it could be legitimate. But I don't know. Looking at this, looking at the comic book community, I think a lot of people will lean toward Forge for the same reasons we did. I think Armor might be popular because she's cute. Yeah, I don't know, dude. Banshee's
Strong Guy will get it because it's the worst art.
It may be. Maybe people will troll it.
But they really missed an opportunity here. I mean, this is February. They should have done like a March Madness bracket thing with tons of characters and narrowed it down like week by week.
Yeah, no, see, they could have done that. There are a lot of mutants. They could have gave us this big thing, and they could have done exactly that. Do a literal like tournament breakdown. That would have been fun. And that's the one thing the reason why I came over here, because, dude, this is the first time Marvel's done anything fun in years.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing we see out of them is cooking shows or shows where people are yelling at the fans and talking about our racism or sexism or something. That's all we see out of fucking Marvel. We haven't seen anything fun, dude. And this is the first fun-ish thing that I've seen in a long time, man. And it's too bad because Marvel used to do. Marvel is king for a reason. They built that. They worked really hard to be king. And these just spoiled little brats, they're just wasting the treasury, dude. That's what they're doing. Anyway, let's get to the last story here, and we'll be done for today. This is sad as shit. Go ahead.
She-Hulk, Silk, Hellcat, and more get the spotlight in Women of Marvel covers from Jen Bartel.
All right. Now, I don't know who Jen Bartel is, but she's an Eisner winner. That I do know.
Oh boy!
And, yes, she and I'm going to show you the spectacularness of Ms. Bartel's art and why she's an Eisner winner, because not other than the fact that I have personally met well over 100 artists who are 10 times better than she is. Let's take a look. That face is okay. We come down. I'll get to that picture in a minute. Yeah, this is She-Hulk. That's a cover for a Marvel comic book, and it's meant to rejoice in the women of Marvel, of course.
I will say this: the face is good, the hair's good, like the hair's done well. Looks like hair. I don't know about the rest though. She looks like a knockoff Don Johnson.
It's off. It's off. Now, Eric, tell me why it's off. I know it's off, but why is it off?
I think the one thing that's making it look really off is the vest. It seems to be a double-breasted, but it doesn't. But it looks to be double-breasted, but at the waist, it's not double-breasted. So it's coming across further than it's supposed to in the midsection.
Yep.
It's still centered at the waist.
Oh, there you go. I knew it was off by looking at it, just offhand. And it's poorly colored. It's just poor in
She's got
many
no
ways.
hips.
She has
It's,
no
it
hips. She
almost
has
looks like
no
a.
tits whatsoever.
It's a boy. It's a boy.
It's a boy.
It really looks like the bottom is a tracing, and they just kind of copy pasted a fresh head onto there, like because it's just the quality and the care in the face is not present in the rest of it.
But even the face is it's emotionless. It's blah.
Yes,
It's blah.
she looks miserable. She's like,
Look at this figurehead up here, the little icon spot. I mean, really?
This looks like it's from a cartoon.
Drawn by a child, you mean? Yeah. But that we don't get all of the ones they mention. We just get that one, and then we have this one over here, which this is a winner. I have to say, at least she's somewhat sexy, but that's off too. It's like they put the head on something. I think you're right, Thundero. That's exactly what they did. Now, the icon picture up top, much better, traditional Emma Frost. But I think you're right, dude. They took the heads and put them on something. Why would you do that, Eric?
Either for quickness or you really don't understand anatomy.
Because tell me what's off about this.
It looks like maybe
it.
she might be like a fashion designer almost, and maybe she's moved over to comic book art, and that's why it kind of looks like this.
Oh, fashion proposals don't need to be top end art. That makes sense. But this is off too. Why is it off?
I'm going to say the upper arms are way too long, probably. I mean, from the angle of the lower arms, I'm going to say the upper arms are too long, hidden behind the boa there.
The breasts seem wonky to me as well, though.
And her hand. Her one hand on her hip is not on her hip. It's just like she's holding it slightly off of her hip.
Yeah,
her hands make her body look like it's actually a flat piece of paper she's holding onto.
Yeah,
Yes.
And I don't think they put the head on quite right. I don't know, but it's just both of these. To my eye, something's wrong. I'm not an artist. We all know this, but I don't know.
Well,
dude.
okay, her breasts, you're getting a straight-on shot. Her body, I mean, if you look where her clavicles meet in the middle, I mean, they're a little off center, so the right breast should be over more. You should be able to see a little bit of the side.
Yeah, because of the angle they were trying to do with the hip. They just didn't pull off any of the. They were trying to be dynamic with the pose, but they just don't know how.
You guys can see me pointing at my screen when I describe this stuff, right?
Yeah, we can. But I'm showing it here on our side.
Alone in my office with my hand up on my monitor.
Right. Well, but here's the thing. Also, once again, the face. It's okay. It's emotionless. It's empty, but the face is okay. And it's weird because this empty face, we have a very similar expression in the icon up here, but yet it is better though because it's more. I don't know. It's not good. That's the point. It's not good. But just keep in mind, this Jen Bartel is an Eisner Award-winning cover artist, and she's doing 8 of these.
For what though? What did she win the Eisner for?
I have no clue, and I don't believe it. But then again, does anyone trust the Eisners any more than the Grammys or the Oscars? They've totally
or elections.
They've completely taken away all value, or more importantly, the Nobel fucking Peace Prize.
Oh, please don't.
But I just don't get it, dude. I mean, there's got to be female artists.
Would you like me to explain?
No.
Would you like me to explain for you? No, it's real simple.
You'll upset
She's Asian.
With a name like that?
Yeah. Miss Jen Bartel is apparently a part Asian or maybe full Asian lady. So there you go.
Was it that real fat one?
No, she's actually. I mean, she's okay looking. She's not anything to write home about, but she's average.
But here's the thing, though, guys. I mean, I'm sure You can find a full-on SJW female who agrees with all your politics, who is also a good artist. I'm sure there must be. Are they just so lazy they don't care to even look? It's like, oh, look at that thing. It's on the floor next to me. That's close enough. I'll just take that. I don't know. Let me check out this Bartell girl.
She won the Eisner for her cover art on Blackbird from Image.
Okay.
Was nominated for Submerged by Vault Comics.
Yeah, she's just a normal girl. And what did you say she won for?
Blackbird from Image Comics.
Blackbird. One word?
One word. I've never heard of it.
No, she didn't win it for this.
I guess she did. There it is.
Oh, that.
I
have personally seen art on just random message boards that is as good, if not better, than that.
Oh, it's a lesbian story. Well, that explains a lot. There you go. And she's not a writer; she's just an artist. So, but it's telling the truth. You see, it's telling the truth. Here's another one. This is, to be honest, though, this is better than the crap we just looked at. It is better. Look at it.
Well, that's not the one she won for, though.
Well, I'm just
pretty
saying.
sure the one she won for is let's see, where is it?
This one here
is that one right there. Yeah.
It is better than what we just saw, though. It is better, but it's not. I mean, come on, dude. Let's do a simple little search here. Best comic book covers of 2020. Let's just check, right? Let's see what comes up here. All right, we got a very dynamic Hulk there. We got that's interesting. Look at this Doctor Doom one. Look at that. Look at all the stuff that's going on in that one here. Let's take a look. Yeah, that's interesting.
Chester, over in the chat, Jerry Unbound said, "My wife is Asian and she can't draw either."
And my wife is Asian as well, but she actually is a pretty good artist. Look at this one over here. Look at this. I remember this cable cover. This one was look at that. Look at all that's going on. It seems to be fairly symmetrical. It's the young cable, but it's good looking art. Look at it, right? I mean, just this is 2020, and we've seen some bad ones too. We saw some pretty good cover art coming out this year, but that crap wins. And it's just the clear agenda. I mean, because look at all the dynamic things that are happening on these covers. Because a cover is supposed to tell you some manner of story about what's happening in the book, and when they don't, we complain about it. We're like, well, that's not in the book. What the hell does that cover have to do with the story, right? And we're right to do so. The cover should give you an indication of what's happening in the book and excite you to take it up. Now, this right here. This is not doing that. We have a girl. It's not telling us about the gender situation or the sexual identity or sexuality that's happening in the book. It's just a girl, right? There's nothing here. Did she win because it's a interesting choice of color? I guess.
You might like her Cindy Moon cover.
Here's what gets me.
Cindy
is
Moon. Who's Cindy Moon?
The name of it is Blackbird, and I don't see any black. Why? At least if you're gonna change the lettering color, make the little bird over the eye, make that black. Pet peeve.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. It's in there because of the agenda. Which one is Cindy Moon? I don't understand.
Well, you showed us the Emma Frost and the Jen Walters.
Right.
There's a Cindy Moon cover, which I believe that's Silk from the Spider-Man comics. I could be wrong.
It is.
That looks a lot better.
Let me just do the Silk one then. I did like the idea of the Silk character, but they screwed that up, dude. Another raped girl who becomes a superhero. Oh God.
The number
Um,
5 there.
which one here is it? The first one or the
The fifth one.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5? This one here.
It looks better.
It does look better. It does look better. But once
I mean,
again,
customization.
well, I hit bonus points. But we have a yellow background once again. There's nothing. She doesn't do backgrounds. It's just pinups, right? And once again, this is better proportion. It's not as crap as the other thing we saw. But once again, the face is incredibly emotionless. I. How do you do that, Eric? How do you get something that's just so meh?
Emotions are kind of hard to nail, but I'm thinking, I'm really thinking she might have came from a fashion design background, and also, I mean, if you look at the faces of Emma Frost and She-Hulk, they got kind of like that runway model look to them, where it's
They
just
do.
emotionless.
They do, yeah. And like I said, I did like the idea of Silk, but they just screwed the hell out of that. Anyway,
Well, I can explain this for you. I'm looking up some pictures of her right now,
mhm.
and I have yet to see a single picture where she's doing anything other than maybe a slight smirk to deadpan expression like that. So they're all just massive self-inserts. She doesn't draw happiness because she's a happy person.
Well, well, maybe I have no clue, but it's all bullshit. But the thing is, if you guys remember back to the day, we did used to get Marvel, the Women of Marvel, or something akin to it, or bikini issues, which are always good. But it was more of a celebration of beauty, right? And
Yep.
because it's not like men don't like female characters, we do. And we like them for multiple reasons. We like them because they're endearing, we like them because they're powerful and interesting, and we also like them because they're sexy and fuckable.
Yep.
I mean, it's a broad genre of reasons why we like things. It's not just the last one. And that's what the SJWs think. They think it's only about the male gaze. And of course, it's part of it. And that's why they've had success, because it's not untrue. But it's deeper than that. Do we like Storm because she's sexy? Storm's not sexy. Storm has a freaking mohawk. She's unattractive altogether.
Some people like that, Chester, but I
Nah,
agree with you. I don't like Mohawk Storm.
well,
I
no, she's
much
not pretty.
prefer Regal Storm.
Even that, she's
Way
not
more
really
attractive.
beautiful. But she's not supposed to be beautiful. That's not the point. But we love Storm. I haven't heard anyone poo-poo Storm. I know, I say.
Yeah, I haven't heard a single person, actually.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I've never heard a comic book fan, or even like a casual fan, say they dislike Storm.
No, everybody loves Storm. It seems like everybody loves Storm. I never heard anyone say anything.
It's a
negative
good
about
character, dude. That's why. Brett,
Because she's assertive without being a bitch, and that
Yeah.
for some reason they don't know how to write that anymore in comic books for women. They always come off as either bitchy or pushy or whiny instead of regal and commanding like Storm is. She has a commanding presence about her,
Yeah.
and that's fantastic. That's what we love about her. I think most men like women that have that self-confidence to be that way. And they obviously, no one likes bitchy women. Like, that's just not even women like bitchy women. They just don't. Nobody likes that. But for some reason, that's all they can write.
Women really don't like women in general, dude. If you haven't.
Well,
that's for sure.
But anyway, interesting day. We had a lot of good things to talk about. We got to look at some indie comics. We looked at some comedy stuff, of course, and we got to vote. We were Democratic, Thundero.
Great Democratic.
Hey, I found a tweet from Marvel.
Uh-huh.
Banshee and Boom Boom have jumped in the poll, where Strong Guy and Polaris have dropped.
Strong Guy and who?
Polaris.
Oh, Polaris.
Yeah,
so
the green girl.
Who's jumped up?
Banshee and Boom Boom.
Banshee.
Banshee.
Oh, Banshee. Henshee. That means something completely different. Yeah. That would be dirty. Anyway, Banshee is jumped, as well as Boom Boom. Well, it's definitely rigged. All right. So that's all I got to say for today. I definitely got to get myself showered and into the city. But I had a lot of fun today. I hope you guys did. So Eric, you got
Oh yeah.
anything to promote or anything to say to the folks?
Oh no, I got nothing to promote, and you guys tune in Thursday night. We're drawing the Muppets
We
on
are doing the
DNQF.
Muppets, dude. Yeah. It's going to be cool. Muppets are a lot of fun, and I'm sure we're going to see them in all kinds of unflattering positions. I'm pretty sure. I do hope we get ink spots in. I've been trying to get ink spots in. I think that would be hilarious. But anyway, come back and join us for that. Tomorrow we do have our D&D game. I probably will launch at the normal time, although Bill's going to be about 30 minutes late. But we'll just launch and have a chat until he gets there. But come back for that as well. But beyond that, Thundero's going to take us out of here, and yeah, democracy is for tyranny of the majority. I guess so.
That's an absolutely correct statement. Democracy is cringe. Read Aristotle.
That's why we have a republic, though. You see.
Yes. Well, allegedly. I do have to agree with Grimlock here, Chester. He has stated that Chester again with the shit opinions. I agree with him. I think Storm's. However, it was a really good show. I had a good time. It's nice to just talk some comics and stuff again. The political season, I guess you could say, has passed largely, and it's nice to just get back to doing things that are fun.
Well, it was about 6 years, wasn't it?
Yeah, good lord. Last year was the longest year in the history of years, I think. But it's good to be so far. 2021. By and large, anyway, I think everybody would agree is starting off a better year than 2020 ended, even aside from political stuff. And I think we're all getting to the point where this year is going to be a very interesting year all the way around. I think we've seen a lot of Chester and my predictions about what was going to happen with the comic industry has sadly come true. And I think that it's not going to just end. I think they're going to adapt, but it's going to be very, very painful for a lot of people going forward. And I still say we have a couple more years of this really crazy woke nonsense before it'll finally be done. But
of course, yeah.
All that aside, I hope everyone's having a great year. I hope they're having a good time, and I hope they keep their head up, because I actually think we're going to have a really good year this year. I don't know why, but something tells me we're going to have a good year this year. I know last year I said the same thing, and we got hit with quite literally probably the worst year of most of our lives, at least like as a species in the last, 70 years. Yeah. So I don't really think that's going to continue. I think things are going to get a little easier, get a little better for people. But I do think that people need to take this time as for what it is, a reprieve. I think we're not out of troubles yet. And I hope, like I said, I hope everyone's having a good night and continues to have a good night. And I personally will see you Sunday. These guys will see you tomorrow when they play some D&D.
Yep.
And have a wonderful evening.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Free pecan pie a la mode for everybody. And Grimlock, I'm always right in my own mind, brother. Always. Namaste. Oh, goodness. Well, I mean, it is the way it is. I got to chat a little bit because I forgot to put the outro up, but it's all right. I'm
so we're just going to talk. We're just going to say words for a while.
We're just going to talk. And then, come over here. Now that I'm done with it, I can say namaste.